Sawasdee krap. Hi guys, it's Non here. So first of all, thank you so much for helping us reach 1 million views. Such a milestone, and I didn't expect that at all. From the beginning, I thought maybe get about thousands or a couple thousands in a month. I'd be really lucky. But for the past 27 days, because of you guys, because of your interest, hospitalities, and support, we got 1 million, which it's a great number. Thank you so much. So to thank you, I'd like to show you a part of my rather low-tech life. So even though I work in the digital economy field, a level of my life is not digital stuff. I'm actually a big fan of analog technology. So today I wanted to show you this amazing technology that changed the world. I'm talking about back in the late 19th century, the early 20th century. But without typewriters, we wouldn't have been able to communicate. We would have not been able to write news. We would have not been able to generate tons of literature and great masterpieces, all thanks to this technology that really revolutionizes the way we communicate in terms of writing. So this typewriter here I'm holding, it's Olympia Traveler Deluxe. It's made in the 1970s. My dad bought it back then because he needed to use it on a daily basis. And back then, this machine was quite expensive. I asked my mother, and she told me that my dad had to pay for this in installments. He had to put a down payment and pay for a couple of years, to pay it off, because it was really the computer of the time. So if you get a computer and you think it's expensive, this back then, compared to the cost of living, it's much more expensive. So I like typewriter for many reasons. I just want to show you how it works. So first of all, you put the paper in, and you roll up the paper into the what do you call it? Into this front back piece that connected to the typing bars, and that's it. So all you have to do is just start typing. Right, just like that. The benefits of typewriters, even today, are fourfold. First of all, it gives you what you see is what you get product. So as I type, I can see what I typed, and once I finish typing, I don't have to wait for printer. I don't have to wait for people to be able to help me print or to connect with the Wi-Fi in order to get the printout. I can take the paper out, and this is what I got, right? So what you see is what you get. It's immediate. It provided you with a peace of mind. You don't have to wait for anything, and printers are great, but sometimes disaster happen, like paper jam. When paper jam happens, or when your Wi-Fi couldn't connect to the printer, that's when things get really bad. So first of all, it's a very automatic machine that give you immediate products that you can use right away. That's the first great thing about typewriter. The second great thing about typewriter is that it helps you to exercise your brain, especially the part that because we have been using digital technology for a while, might not have been exercised so much. For instance, not many people know how to spell words anymore, because when you use a smartphone with your thumbs, or when you use computer with your fingers, you can type whatever you want, and then the computer will use machine learning to predict and to suggest what might be the words that you wanted to type. Even though you type it wrong, it will correct it for you. In this typewriter, because everything is analog, you have to memorize, you have to understand, you have to know what you wanted to type. So you get to train your mind to go back to the mode whereby you are able to be precise and accurate with your understandings of what you are going to actually put down on papers. I think that's great. I think that's actually the kind of skills that you still want to have even in the world today, where convenience are provided by digital technology. Digital is great, but it's not everything. So there are things that digital actually make us a little less smart, and I don't want you I don't want myself, and I don't want you to feel less smart. If digital replaces the part of human sensibility that we should be able to maintain, right? And the third reason is it's that typewriters actually makes me overcome my writer's block, because you can only go forward with typewriters. For instance, when you type, you can only go forward. There's no backspace to go backward. You can backspace, but whatever you type is already there. You might have to use a correction pen to wipe it out and then type it again. But generally speaking, you can only go forward. And unlike my computer here, I can type a sentence and I can just keep pressing backspace because I didn't like what I wrote. So when I was writing my dissertations, I had that problem a lot, because because I want everything to be perfect, and I never liked what I typed. So I never had a first draft of my dissertation at all, because I couldn't even get past the first paragraph. I just kind of want to go back and rewrite it again. So I never had a first draft, and I almost quit my doctoral degree program learning. But because I got this typewriter, I started to learn how to just move forward, just keep writing whatever I believe that should be on papers. And of course, the first draft isn't very good, but you know, at least it's better than having nothing at all. So after the first draft that I used typewriter to type out, I corrected with my hands, and I retyped it again. The next time, I had a better understanding of what I wanted to type. The third time, I had a really clear picture, very articulate pictures of what my research should be. For the fourth time, I was able to produce a dissertation. So thanks to this machine, it helped me to think about going forward with my ideas and never wanting to regret if there's any mistakes that take place. So I think that's the great things about a typewriter. Eventually, the fourth reason, typewriters are unhackable. You can't hack it. My computer, you can hack it if I'm connected to Wi-Fi. A good hacker can just hack into my computer and take stuff from me, or plant some kind of a malware or spyware. For this, it cannot be hacked. So if you're typing something important, something confidential, you type it on this, nobody can have it except you. It's just on one piece of paper and no other copies at all. So these are the 4 reasons why typewriters are still, to me, relevant, even though we are living in 21st century. I have 2 fun facts, by the way. The key on the typewriters have been designed to make us type slower. It's funny, right? We thought that they designed this because they realized that in order to make people type with the optimal speed, you might want to rearrange it this way. But turns out they actually rearranged it. They actually arranged these buttons so that we type slower. Why? Because the mechanics of how typewriter works is that when you strike a key, you got the actual physical strikes of the bar. Like, see? You see that, right? So if you type too fast, like this, the bar got stuck. When the bar got stuck, that's when you cannot type anymore. So the design of the machine was really make us type slower. So that's why you have this so-called QWERTY keyboard. That's why it's not organized A, B, C, D, E, but Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P. The other thing is that you realize, you notice actually, that the first roll of the typewriter, you can actually type the word typewriter with it. Okay, if you don't believe it, I'll show you. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to change the line, you have to do it physically, so it's kind of fun, right? T, Y, T, E, U, R, I, T, E, R, typewriter. Right? You can just type the word typewriter using this first line of your keys. The reason for that, I was told, is because when the salespersons wanted to go and sell typewriter back in the late 19th century, they wanted to be able to type something really quickly to show to their prospective clients that this is a machine that they wanted to buy. So what is the better way than putting the word, all the letters that compose of that could compose the word typewriter in just one line, so that the salesperson can actually impress the future clients by just typing their words in the speed of light. So that's the reason why I think typewriters is still relevant today, very important to me. I've been using it every day. And by the way, I'm in Dubai, and this thing is like 10 kilos, right? I carried it with me from Bangkok here to Dubai, because without having this, I usually couldn't really think. When I think, I usually couldn't really craft, and when I wanted to craft, I usually couldn't really imagine what might be a better way of saying it without an actual physical typewriter. And also when you have to type on a typewriter, you have to press a button like this. It's the travel distance between the key and the moment where the key strikes and imprints it on the piece of paper. It's about 2 centimeters. Unlike the computer, which is really, really thin, you actually have crafting words onto paper. So you put together alphabets and make it a word, you put together words, make it a sentence, put together a sentence, make it a paragraph. And that craftiness, that laborious craftiness, is what I believe make you think twice, make you think more carefully about what you are about to write. So instead of just say whatever you want, as if you type on a computer because it's easy to type, this one you have to think about it and you have to put effort into crafting words. And I think that's the reason why when you're on a typewriter, you become more conscious of your existence. You are more conscious of your craft, you're more conscious of your art, you're conscious of what is it that you want to communicate, even to yourself and not to anybody else. So here you go, you have all the reasons why I think typewriters are great. And if you like the video, well, let me know so that I can do more these types of retro, low-tech introductions. You know, I'm a big fan of low-tech stuff, so I'm using fountain pens. I'm using cassette tapes to listen to music. I don't use Spotify because I love the sound from the cassette tapes. It's not perfect, that's why it's good. And I also walk to work. I bike to work sometimes, and I just love the analogness that we can still find. I even wanted to go and try vinyls, but I'm afraid that if I like it, it's going to cost me a lot because vinyls are becoming popular again, becoming expensive again. But I was told that vinyls are great because the way in which the sound's produced, it's not perfect because it's not digital. But because of that imperfections, it fits really well with our ears, because our ears are not designed for perfect, crisp sound. It was designed for some kind of sound that had some noise in it, and that's why vinyls are important. But anyway, I'm going tangent here. Well, thank you so much again for your support. 1 million views means a lot to me, and I hope we can get better. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.